Saturday, next Saturday we do Amatya, then again Diwali holiday, and then we have continuous weeks after that. That's how our schedule is. I guess for the day is Shivanand sir. It's going to be here soon. But before that, we'll run through the theory part of Swami, and then once he's here, then we'll see what his experiences are all about. So let's go through it. Now, Swami is the most important part of the whole curriculum that we are doing. Swami is the head, the leader. The head, as in the head and the top part of the body of the whole structure as well. And that's why we realized this when I did my CIPL course for 6 months. And what we concluded out of the whole course was that there are a lot of management colleges in that country. We have a lot of managers. But now what our country needs is leaders. So that's why we came up with an MA in Leadership Sciences in Open University. And obviously this course also we call it the Leadership Development Program. It is not any kind of a management program, it is a leadership development. When we did the 7 pillars, we also spoke about the difference, and we tried to identify the difference between who a manager is and who the leader is. So both have their own importance in the system, but their roles are different. So we are now probably able to differentiate between a manager and a leader. Coming on to leader, Chanakya's Arthashastra was written for the royal family. The princes were taught during their brought up about the Arthashastra. So Arthashastra was primarily meant only to be learned by the royal family because they were the one who would administer the whole kingdom. Chanakya wrote something like Chanakya Niti, which is very well known. People know about Chanakya Niti because we see it everywhere. And Chanakya Niti is primarily for normal people, the Praja. People like us who are regular people who are not among the rulers, who are not a part of the admin, not admin as a part of the ruling family or the ruling system. For us it is Chanakya Niti. And there is something, another thing he wrote about was Chanakya Praniti Sutra. Praniti Sutra are purely from an administration point of view. Right? So all your UPSC exams, whoever get the IAS, IPS officers, they are the ones who study Praniti Sutras. So it is a part of a curriculum for them as well. It is more from an administrative point of view. Now, when it comes to the royal family, the king, the leader, the Swami, qualities are different. What he needs to learn is different. One thing we need to realize that leader needs to be jack of all. So this doesn't it sounds funny because every time we have been taught in our life that you don't have to be jack of all, be a master of one, specialize in what you are doing. Don't focus on too many things. You're not concentrating on something. But when it comes to a leader, when it comes to someone who is ruling, that person needs to be jack of all. Let's take the example of the Prime Minister of the country. Something goes wrong with the railways, he cannot say railway ka ho. Something goes wrong with the finance, the economy, he cannot say ye finance minister ka ho. Something goes wrong with the defense, he cannot say defense minister ka ho. The leader is responsible for it. Same thing in the company. Right? The chairman of the company is responsible for everything. What HR does is the responsibility of the chairman. Right? What sales does is the responsibility of the chairman. What marketing does, what your operation does, what your legal system does, everything is the responsibility of the chairman. Right? The chairman needs to know everything. He might not be an expert in that. He can be an expert in one of them, but he might not be an expert. Right? Because why? Then he has people who advise him. Right? He's the one who employs experts. So the kind of qualities what a leader needs to have is very different from an expert or a manager. That's where we got it. Now when Chanakya taught this to leaders, he spoke about things which a leader should learn. Because this is the person who is going to take the decision. So when we studied this first sutra of our course, the Anvikshikis, we did a special day on Anvikshiki. We went through what strategic way of thinking is. The whole sutra goes like Anvikshiki Trayi Varta Dandaniti Sheti Vidya. So Anvikshiki Trayi Varta Dandaniti. These are the Vidyas. Right? So if someone wants to repeat it, Anvikshiki Trayi Varta Dandaniti Sheti Vidya. So how does it translate to? Anvikshiki, obviously we all know is strategic way of thinking. Trayi is the three Vedas. Now we always say there are four Vedas, right? But during the time in Arthashastra was written, only three Vedas were written, right? Anyone who knows all the four Vedas or three Vedas? Rigved, Samved, Yajurved, Atharvaved. Right? Atharva Veda was added later on. And Arthashastra became Atharva. Atharva is Artha, so it all falls on. Atharva Veda means basically concentrates on the Artha part of the philosophy. So the other three Vedas is what the king needs to learn. He needs to learn Varta. Varta is what? Economics. There is a sutra which says Sukhasya Mulam Dharmam, Dharmasya Mulam Artham. Praniti Sutra which I spoke about. So first it starts with Sukhasya Mulam Dharmam. So if you want to be happy, be dharmic. Dharmic doesn't mean religious. Dharmic means become what dharma is. Moral ethics. Chanakya defines dharma in a lot of different manners. When you go to Arthashastra, I think there are some 32 different places where he used dharma as a word. Dharma have different contexts. Unfortunately, yeah, righteousness, ethical, moral. So, but in today's context, when we see dharma, there is a misconception. We never knew what religion is. It was only when other religion came in India, we thought that this is our religion. For us, Hinduism is way of life. Hinduism is not a religion. But given this Constitution of India defines people who stay in the land are Hindus. Okay? So that's how Hinduism. So again, coming back, we'll come to Veda. What is Sukhasya Mulam Dharmam, Dharmasya Mulam Artham, Arthasya Mulam Rajam. So you can go to Praniti Sutra. It's a big sutra by itself. But it starts with Sukhasya Mulam Dharmam, Dharmasya Mulam Artham. So you can, that's when we study Praniti Sutra. If you study that, we're not doing Praniti Sutras here. But this is a part of that. So economics, Dharmasya Mulam Artham. I was talking about that. So dharma, even if you want to do dharmic activities, let's put dharmic in today's, so even if you want to do religious activities, the mula of that, the base of that is going to be Artham. Right? Even if I want to do a puja, I need money. So basic philosophy comes back to money. And Chanakya repetitively goes back, and I would say Chanakya was somewhere purely materialistic person. He is an administrator, he is to run a kingdom. Right? If something goes wrong, the king cannot say कि सब भगवान होगा देखा जाए. Right? So economics is what the king needs to learn inside out. And then third is obviously Dandani, political science. How to administer. Chanakya says the king only needs to do two things. One is protection of the people, and the other one is give legal decisions. These are the two things which a king needs to do. That's why the political science and economics comes into picture. We'll go into detail, a little detail of this.
Why is it war or fighting included in this?
Sorry?
Why is it war or something like learning about war?
That's a part of political science, right?
Okay. Learning about
International relations, war.
Learning of
Again, Arthashastra is how you think. It's not about physical, how to fight. There will be strategies. Political science will have strategies. If you go to a political course, it will have different strategies. So, war is a part of politics. It's not a part of politics. Now, Trayi. Now, Trayi helps us in what? Dharma or adharma. Right? So, when we are thinking, when we are taking a decision, right, it needs to be through dharma or adharma. So when we are taking a decision, the first point we will look at as a leader is whether my decision is dharmic or adharmic. Right? Whether what am I doing? So I have two ways here. Is this right or this right? The adharmic way might be more lucrative. You might get some short-term pleasure in that. But then that is why your understanding of your basic spiritual, your basic ethical grounding comes into picture. That's why you take a decision which is three ways, this whether dharmic or adharmic. Varta, economic base, whether that decision is making economic sense or not. So are profitable or loss. As a leader, running a business, first whether your decisions are going to be ethically right. Second, whether you're going to make economical profits to it or not. And third, very important, underneath, Nyaya, there is rightness and unrightness. What I put more to our, because of done Niti is whether these are the right processes or the policies which you are taking. And when I say process and policies, these are going to be long term. The way you're going to operate, you're going to take a decision that this is how my company will function, or this is how something will go on. So whether it is a right process or not.
What is one completely deficient in ethical and righteous?
Perfect. Ethical and ethical is somewhere my moral comes in. Nyaya is where legality comes in. Are you able to differentiate between legal and ethical? Can something be legally right and ethically wrong?
Yes.
Can something be ethically right but legally wrong?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that video given by Devdutt Patnaik? So, see for example, this is where we are. And this is my ethics. This is my law. Right? And according to our Indian, we use the word mythology. It says someone who is ethically wrong and legally wrong, who would you put that? Sorry? Yeah, so someone's a character. Mahabharata Ramayana is a character आता है या ethically wrong. Let me put it. Say Ravan. Yeah? Ethically his wife is my wife. My brother's money is my money. So Ravan is legally wrong and ethically wrong as well. Someone who is legally right but ethically wrong. Who can you think of? Ethically some right.
Supreme.
Supreme was ethically right. Kali was legally wrong. Another part was safe. I put Duryodhan here. Legally completely right. Duryodhan had done nothing wrong, even he did not make any wrong legal thing during the war. In fact, he broke the law, he did below his best, and that's why he broke it. Duryodhan did not break a single law.
In the game of dice.
Ethically wrong. Legally the dice was right.
Just because he could be good.
That's why he was legally right. In the court of law, he was always right. But ethically completely wrong. We agree. Someone who is ethically right and legally wrong. Yeah, he was direct, but I would like to look at someone who is a character in the way of. I would say Krishna. He did all the crooked things in the world. But what was the purpose? Ethically never wrong. Like ethically people should look up to him and used to give those ways to him. Yeah, maybe Krishna. Someone who is legally right and ethical. Sri Ram. Maryada Purushottam. So are we able to differentiate things ethically and legally wrong? Does this exercise help us to differentiate what can be ethically right and legally right, ethically wrong and legally wrong? Yeah? So,
What does it makes a difference ethically right and legally wrong, or legally right or ethically right?
that's why these are the characters. It makes a difference. We don't praise Duryodhana, or we don't praise Ravan. Now, Ravan in a different context, different societies who have leverage towards Ravan as well. But looking at from the normal understanding point of view, Ravan was not put upon the right man. And speak to destruction. As a leader, as a business person, take care of this. Yeah? So what does, we have some exercise. So, let me read it out and then you all can answer. The farmer was going to town with a fox, a goat and an egg. Okay. When he came to a river, he had to cross in a tiny boat. and could only take across one thing at a time. However, if he left the fox along with the goat, the fox would eat the goat. And if he left along the goat along with the hay, the goat would eat the hay. How does he get them all safely over the stream? He could have left ना खा जाएगा ठीक है एक goat गया and just he is gone. Practically he has to be right. We all have done this exercise somewhere or other. Some go forward. Then you can take only one thing at a time.
Himself plus one more.
Just plus one. Yeah. Anyone who wants to answer this?
First he took the goat, he came back. Then he took the fox along, got the goat back. Then he
Yeah,
took,
exactly. That's
then he took the hay, came back and took the goat.
perfect.
Yes. So he has to bring a goat back. He cannot leave a goat. So this is an exercise. The point of it is not the right answer here. The point is to understand the hay needs to be protected, the goat also needs to be protected. Though he has to make an extra effort to it, but then to stay ethically right, he has to make that extra effort. That's the answer what they give. Next thing. Vata again. Economics. Let's come to these numbers. A man decides to buy a nice house. He pays 3 crores for it, and he is very content with the beautiful view, the quality of construction and amenities. After a year, the value of the house has increased to 3.5 crores, and he decides to sell the house. But already a few days later, he regrets his decision to sell the lucky house, and he buys it again. Unfortunately, he has to pay 4 crores to get it back. So he lost 50 lakhs. After another 2 years of owning the house, he finally decides to sell the house again. This was 5 crore. So overall, how much profit loss has Gavin? Marwadi people and Gujarati people are known to do business because they calculate. Sindhis as well. Answer quick. ऐसे का मामला है।
विचार में दिया बचत नुकसान किया 1 crore 1 crore
And he stayed also for 3 years in that.
That's okay. I'm just talking about numbers here. What is the total profit or loss you've made?
1 crore
1 crore? Importance of numbers for us. I don't know the answer to be right or wrong. Why do we need to be quick on numbers? धंधा करना है, counting down है. Simple. Right? The leader can employ a finance director, CFO can have a chartered accountant working for him. Right? But the leader himself should be very strong with finance. Did anyone see the Narendra Modi's presentation with the CS community last week? This week, in fact. I would say just go and do that particular speech. I would not call it speech, it was a presentation. I have not seen a prime minister of a country giving a PowerPoint presentation with numbers and figures. Numbers very low. And he was talking numbers like this. Go and view that 1 hour 15 minutes video and see how he's presenting. We had an economist who was the prime minister. Why? Numbers, figures. Economics is very important for him. Next. Write this. A lawyer proves in court that a man killed an old man walking on the street while he was driving. But the judge decides that he cannot be punished. Why? Lawyer proves it. Lawyer proves in the court that a man killed an old man walking on the street while he was driving.
Was he trying to avoid a bigger accident? In both cases.
Might be. You're right. He might
Are you
be.
trying to avoid a bigger accident by
And you're avoiding a bigger accident.
He saved 3 children and some.
Seriously. थोड़ा legal का question है. Why don't you look at from legal? This is an ethical thing. Why don't you look at from legal point?
Because of the rule when the light is green.
The light is green and the walking light is red. So legally, who is right? So there are two tracks that children play. Children are playing on the railway track, right? And there are 4 children. 3 children are playing on a track where the train is supposed to go. And there's one kid who is playing on another track. The train is not going. Right? Now, when the guy who's running the train, he sees this. So he has an option. Either he changes tracks and kills only one child, right? Or he kills all the 3 children. All the 3 children. What is the right thing he should do?
The one thing is right.
Should he keep one child or should he keep 2 children? The train is going at a speed of 3 kilometers an hour. You cannot stop the train.
Actually, on another part, where the kid is sitting in front of a red light, or in front, yeah.
There are 3 children and there's 1 child.
But the 3 children are doing wrong there, instead of the one child. So actually, God away and kill the one child when he's not in the wrong, rather than.
See, if he had killed that one child, he would have been wrong.
He would have been wrong. Who was wrong?
No, he
So, are we saying that?
technically he would have been wrong, no?
Are we saying that the driver should go on the track that the 3 children play? Why? Because
But children are children, like, yeah, and adults.
There may be other.
so the train has 500 passengers in that.
That's what's important there.
The train has 500 passengers while the train is. If you're going to stop the train at that speed, at that point, it's going to cause an accident and 500 people are lost.
Presence of mind, that one thing that would be.
And saving
He should
more
follow his
lives is
discipline.
much.
So is it?
He should follow his discipline.
Just for us,
Instead follow the rules.
legally right. 3 children playing are legally wrong. The 1 child was legally right. Why should he be punished?
And he can always say, I didn't say.
No. Again, they are not going on those terms. The point of which we are trying to make here, is discussion here is that what should a person in a situation do? What decision will take at that? Leaders. That's what leadership is. So,
This is also asking something.
I don't know.
Yeah, the way you want to from them.
So, 3 things we learned. The whole sutra was Andekshiki, Trayi, Varta. That's the name is changing. So, Trayi, Varta and Dandana. If I were to conclude the whole thing, what we will say is investigating by means of reasoning. Andekshiki is reasoning, it's a logic, thinking. What is spiritually good and evil in the Vedic world? Right? Spiritually, right or wrong? Right? Material gain and loss in economics. Good policy and bad policy in the science of politics, as well as the relative strength and weaknesses of these 3 sciences. Philosophy confers benefit on the people, keeps the mind steady in adversity and in prosperity. In adversity and in prosperity, and brings about proficiency of thought, speech, and action. So 3 parameters: ethically right or wrong, economically right or wrong, and legally right. Every decision which you make. Now, I would like all of you to relate this thing to the problem which we have written. I don't know if you would have already found some solution to it, but if you have that one problem in mind, put this 3 parameters. Every decision you make, put this parameter. We're channeling God's way of thinking. Now, the core topic today. Leader. A lot of people would have seen this forward on Facebook. Is the leader's job to give instruction? Or is the leader's job to lead from the front? Why is he going to lead? Right? Make clear. Do we think about this when we are taking our leadership roles? So when APJ Abdul Kalam was a part of the team which made the first rocket, the missile, had failed. And he was the deputy director at that point of time. this boss, when he faces a mid-end, he says, this is my responsibility. I am responsible for failure. Next attempt they make, they succeeded. At that point of time, what he did is, it's my team's effort. I'm not responsible. It's a team's effort. So when things go right, it's a team which is responsible. When things go wrong, it is he, the leader, who is responsible. That's the attitude of the leader. Are we trying to hide our failures, going behind, putting the blame on someone else? I find weird things at that, वो ऐसे कुछ भी होगा ना, ये छींक आ गया तो अरे तेरी वजह से छींक आ गया. So leaders should be leading from the front, taking responsibilities of the failures.
But is it this picture in terms of the difference between when you are referring to the king and then what we discussed about the amatya? So the lower picture should actually should depict someone who is being the amatya, and the top picture should actually be the leader, right?
Why is he called a leader? Leads. Leading by example is the way of leadership. Like the best way of leading is leading by example. I do it. There's a video of Narendra Modi, some puja, where he does the puja and then he opens the gift wrapper and then like what he does with the wrapper? Which is leading by example. I am the Prime Minister of the country. And in fact, if you see that video carefully, the security guard says, "Sir, they do." He says, "They made up." And there was no camera focused at that.
But
It's leading by example.
again, a matter of that is leading in terms of a matter of principle, but not actually getting down and those are principles he is following to set an example.
Yes.
But that is different between going down and doing the work yourself.
Going down and doing, so as a leader, he's not going to go down and do cleaning on the streets, right? He's setting an example leading from the front. I am a leader, I can do whatever I want, but let them follow it. I will sit behind and say, you do this, you do that, but I might not be following, I might not be doing. What will the followers say, what will my downline say at that point of time? बोलता है, खुद तो करता नहीं. Comes that attitude. बातें बड़ी करता है, कुछ करके दिखाए ना. That is it. So leading by example is very, very, very important. In fact, that point by itself, I will leave you this video. You all know him, Manoj Joshi. He does plays on Chanakya. And he's committed 1,000 days in 2020 or something like that now. So he's at this flipping which came. Video.
मनस्यन्यवचस्वन्य कर्मण्यन्यत् दुरात्मनाम् मनस्येकं वचस्येकं कर्मण्येकं महात्मा अर्थात जिसकी कथनी और करनी में अंतर हो वो राजा दुरात्मा है और जिसकी कथनी और करनी में कोई भी अंतर ना हो वो राजा ही महात्मा कहलाता है।
Repeat it once again.
मनस्यन्य वचस्वन्य कर्मण्यन्यत् दुरात्मनाम् मनस्येकं वचस्येकं कर्मण्येकं महात्मा अर्थात जिसकी कथनी और करनी में अंतर हो वो राजा दुरात्मा है और जिसकी कथनी और करनी में कोई भी अंतर ना हो वो राजा ही महात्मा कहलाता है।
He says what he does what he says and he says what he does. Are we answering that point somewhere? Achar or vichar? That's what Arthashastra is all about. We get into details ahead. And how does this come into picture? How does achar and vichar go in place together? So when it comes to leadership, first quality of a leader, how does this achar vichar come together? How does that quality of a leader Come and write. Vruddha Sanyogaha. First book, 5th chapter, 11th sutra. He should have constant association with elders in learning for the sake of improving his training, since training has its roots in that. Right? Vruddha Sanyogaha. Learning from the elders. Always being with the elders. Vruddha. Now when Arthashastra gives the explanation on the bottom lines, he says there are 3 kinds of Vruddhas. Right? Who are the 3 kinds of Vruddhas? One, who is elder to me by age. Right? That person is Vruddha. Second, he is elder to me by experience. He might not be elder to me by age, but he is elder to me by experience. He's gone and learned something and been through a situation. And third is elder to me by qualification. My doctor, my lawyer, the engineer I employ might be younger. They are educated. Vruddha, respect, listen to them, get training from them, learn from them. So Vruddha Sanyoga is the first quality which comes in leader. Second thing which he talks about is, I don't know if I have a slide on that. So second thing Chanakya talks about is something like Arishat Varga Tyagena. My that slide is got a little corrupted, so I'm not even put it. Casting out the 6 enemies. What are the 6 enemies of an individual? What are the enemies you think are your?
Greed, anger, ego. Greed, anger, ego.
Yeah. Can someone say all the 6? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha,
Ahankar.
Mana, Mada, and Harsha. So 6. I'll repeat. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Harsha. First one is Kama. Lust. Are we, when we discussed this, when we had our research project going on and there was a lot of discussion happening, we were giving everyone's point of view. What we concluded out of this, Kama does not only mean the sexual part of lust. Right? I can have Kama for anything. Exactly. People can have lust for luxury. People can have lust for, say, a type of clothing. Yeah, so that is a different thing. But Kama makes me attached to a particular thing which I cannot do. I feel me getting stuck on my mobile is also Kama. I spend that 15-20 minutes in the morning which goes for waste just checking WhatsApp, doing nothing. And I do that during the day also, kuch aaya to nahi. And I feel that's a wrong habit which I have. That is an attachment. There is lust for that phone and for that app or that. Can I quit it? How easily can I? That is my enemy because I don't even know how many minutes in a day I spend on WhatsApp or Facebook. No, which is not good. I'm thinking of deleting it, but I cannot delete it because what is this? This is a chapter. Calm. Krodha. Anger. So, when I say anger, should I not get angry at all?
No. They should be.
And then?
Up to a limit. समझ आ जाए उसका बेइज्जती कर देते हैं. It's not extend to that level.
Army person standing on the border, or in those days, the king going to a war on a horse or an elephant. Should he get angry or not?
No, that's not anger.
It's controlled anger. Controlled anger.
That's not anger at all.
Then
That's moral.
that's
fighting an enemy because you are angry. You are fighting an enemy because the enemy has attacked you or you have to protect yourself. It's not because of anger. Or maybe you are going to conquer somebody else. Where's the question of anger? That guy should get angry on you. Right?
The difference between anger and rage.
Yeah, no, but
I'm sitting in my house, I'm sitting for dinner. The person breaks into my house
yeah,
and start throwing things outside my house.
yeah. Then you can get angry.
Get angry?
Yeah, then you can get angry. But
So I'm putting just the situation on a border in context to a house. Right? So is anger required? How is it enemy? But control. Control. So when we say this enemies, it needs to be controlled enemies. You need to have control over this enemy. Your lust is required. You have control over it. When to get it? When to leave it. Can you switch on and switch off? If you can switch on but not switch off, is a problem. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Lobha. Greed. Rich. Lobha can not only be rich, but Lobha can be a lot of other things. Famous. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Moha. Man. Pride. Harsha. Foolishness. Can we all behave or act foolish when we want? Do we all do that? हाँ? कीड़ा बन के पेड़ा खाते हैं. There is a danger if you get attached to that attitude of yours. You die. As a leader, you should not be looked upon as a dumb fool guy. We know the example. Casting out 6 enemies. How do you cast out the 6 enemies? I know there are 6 enemies. How do we cast out? Chanakya says 5 organs, 5 senses. Yeah. Which are the 5 senses? You know, quick. And 5 organs for that. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. Can I have control over this? Can I have control over this? You need to have control over this. Victory over yourself is victory over them.
Okay, so now first Thanda outside. I could get just now. How can I control that? I want to listen to what's going on. But let's start now.
You can concentrate
You can concentrate, but how
So, someone asked Gautam Buddha, what is the best way to have victory over you? How can I win the whole world? And he says, you know yourself, the victory is yours. I may hear an accident outside. Does it distract me from giving a lecture talking to you guys here? I hear there's a big accident happening, but does it distract me? You see a lot of Western places where eyes can, sorry. It depends on an individual how well they are focused.
So if there's something major, I'm sure you can't continue. If there's a bomb blast, you can't continue concentrating on your action. So depending on what is happening out there.
And you shouldn't also.
Sorry?
And you shouldn't even.
And it's unethical to continue also.
Yeah, that's unethical. See again, that's the point. Controlled hearing is different from uncontrolled hearing. And if someone's seen the movie The
There
Secret,
is, have control over all 5 organs. Meditation, yoga, it gives you a lot of.
We'll come to that.
So that
We'll come to that. Now, the point here is what we're discussing is casting out the 6 enemies using your 5 sensory organs and control over this 5 organs. When I'm walking on the street, the way I look at someone, it shows what I'm thinking. Women especially will know what I'm. Men would also. देखा कैसे देखा? और if I look at stairs, उन्होंने क्या गुस्सा किसको दिखा? My thoughts are conveyed to the way I look. I can smell everything. I cannot stop my nose from smelling. But am I getting attracted because of that? Perfumes are the best way of distracting. Can my nose still smell and stay calm? Can I still keep reading, concentrate, studying, in spite of me listening to my favorite song which is going on outside? Concentration. Senses. The touch. Can I still control myself? So if we have control over these 5 senses, we have control over yourself. And that's what Chanakya says. Ari Shat Varga Tyagena is someone's right. Shat Varga is the 6 Ari Shat, the 6 enemies. Ari is any Shat Varga is the 6 Tyagena enemies. They are casting out of the 6 enemies. Next, the attitude. Praja Sukhi Sukham Rajan, Praja Namde. The benefit of the people lies the benefit of the king. In India, with democracy, I don't know why we are taught this. We always live in democracy. 2,300 years back, the king is not keeping his people happy. He is not going to remain king for a long time. I don't know. Nothing more than democracy can't be summarized in anything further than this is happening. For the people, by the people, for the people. Just not, maybe not from the people. I think that's a good difference. As a leader, when we did marketing, right, Vinita Bali, we remember, she would have said, I will go to the market and I will design my product in the way the market wants it. Right? So, am I keeping my customers happy? Am I designing my product according to the need of the customer? Praja Sukhi Sukham Rajan. Are my people happy working in my company? My tender is there. Are they happy working? Is only giving money a benefit to that people? Pure. There is no more personal department. It is human resource. Human resource has gone beyond me personal. You do development, you give the person training, you do events, you give them facilities, you take care of them, you take care of their families. We've gone beyond saying that this is your paycheck and here you work for me. No. Why? Happiness of the employees. Praja Sukhi Sukham Rajan Praja Namde. This is one of the major sutras of Shastra. Next one. Leader should be energetic. The word focus here is Utsaha Vardhakaha. It is not that he should be energetic only. He should be Utsaha Vardhakaha. He should energize people. Right? If the economy is not doing well, it is kind of dull every day. And the leader himself says, हाँ हो रहा है, खराब है हालत देश की, क्या करेंगे? Global markets ऐसे हैं. You want to interview, say, come on, let's stand up ourselves, let's do it. We are doing well, we are almost on the path, and things are just going to improve from here. Utsaha Vardhakaha, the attitude of a leader needs to energize people. You don't want to be weak in front of any of your. I was told very smartly by someone, never tell your people that you are unwell. मैं बीमार हूँ, अभी मेरी तबीयत ठीक नहीं है, मैं नहीं काम कर सकता. Keep it to yourself, maybe keep it to your family, not to your weakness. the attitude of a king. That's the attitude of a leader. Best of my bosses, I've never seen them taking sick leave. Sick leave कौन है? I would not like to be a person who takes sick leave now. Brother has gone. Okay, now I am sharing this because I know. Brother has gone to Chennai. He had fever last night. They walked in the airport. This को क्या हुआ? Fever है. That gives an attitude of Dada Singh, Dr. Vijay. He's coming from Chennai right now, right, and he is going to join us for lunch. What happens if you see a leader of us? There is a rampage which happened on Elphinstone Road. Right? And if the leader says, I am ill today and I am not going to address the state, you don't have. You have to energize. You have to bring in confidence in your Chairman, the CEO of the company needs to always build confidence and energize it. You have to give energy to the center. Next, information. The affairs of a king leader are of three kinds: directly perceived, unperceived, and inferred. Information collection system: formal, informal, structured, unstructured. How many of us know that there is always an informal structure in an organization? ये बॉस का आदमी है, ऊपर जाके बोलता है.
Great point.
Yeah?
Great point.
Great point.
Great wine.
Grapevine. Yeah. Grapevines are different. When I'm talking of informal, when I'm talking of information here, is the king having his own, or the leader having his own information system. MIS speaks numbers. The reports will speak numbers. But what is going on? What is the pulse? The administrative system will tell you what is happening in terms of numbers and figures. But what are people feeling? Feelings cannot have a computerized system, right? You need to have an informal system. Kautilya Shastra dedicates a good amount of portion towards spy and information collection system. Spy is very used. How they were used. How many of us have had this opportunity where a guy comes on the signal and cleans your window with a cloth and says, "You think that boy is not getting any other work anymore?" अभी काम नहीं मिलता, कोई गाड़ी पे कपड़ा मारने साफ कर रहा है, कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, वो गाड़ी साफ करने के बाद आपकी गाड़ी में अंदर क्या वो देख रहा है. Is it informed? Your boot polish walas. They are having Shivanand Salim, or you might add more to this. How do police get information? Police, looking at a police in a uniform, no one is going to give them information. How do they collect information? बॉस के डर से कोई कुछ आधी चीजें तो बोलेगा ही नहीं. Because you are the owner of the company, because you are the head of the company. How to get the right information? Have to get the right information.
Sarfarosh picture. Sarfarosh movie.
Yeah, Sarfarosh movie. Exactly. Yeah.
Example.
A lot of movies are. But the point is, information collection is very important for a leader. Needs to get the right information from the right place.
CID, civil dress.
Yeah, CID. CID is a form. CID is one, but again, CID is still formal structure.
Civil dress.
Civil dress में पता नहीं कौन आगे बैठ गया. Maybe someone is sitting in the class में. So you have intelligence bureau, IB. So IB also works on that. So these are ways and systems of collecting information. How well are you as a leader collecting information about your organization and your systems processes? Or how well as a downline do you understand that informal structure through which the information is going to your boss? Someone working in an organization that has a boss somewhere to report to. Can you figure out that informal structure which is there? Then you have the challenge. Then you can play the boss. Get into those if you get into strategies. How to go about getting a king and things like that. But so information system is very, 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 very formal, informal. Perceived, unperceived, inferred, direct, indirect. different information is next. Inspection and reporting. The leaders should constantly hold an inspection of their work, being constant in their minds. Now you would have seen लेबर को वापस वही का वही बोलना पड़ता है. We at times use this word कितनी बार बोलना पड़ेगा? समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. We see that? A lot of people need to say the same thing again and again and again. But you have to do that. That is human tendency to forget. The reason why we write down things is because we all forget. Our hard drive is not that as good as our RAM is. Okay, we can process things very fast. An intelligent person can process things fast. Remembrance is the challenge. Not everyone are the ones who have got that kind of memory of remembrance. Vaguely you remember things, but having accuracy is only a computer. In the same manner, you keep reminding people again and again and again. Heavy rains, traffic jam, students are running 15-20%. We're predicting rains also. Okay, inspection. When we do the daily routine of a king, and Arthashastra also gets in what daily routine a king should follow. According to that, the king gets up at 4:30 in the morning every day. Right? Mike, something's wrong with that. Yeah? Okay. So we're talking about the daily routine of the king. The king needs to go on an inspection every day in the afternoon. Right? You have to walk through your workshop, you have to walk through your office premises. You have to walk through where your people are working. And this is purely from an inspection point of view. You're not going there to work. Yeah? I'm sitting here, let things happen there, I am not supposed to go there, cannot happen. A leader needs to walk through. Just walking through the premises makes a lot of difference. That's an inspection. We see on 15th August and 26th January, the Prime Minister and the President actually does an inspection of the people standing there. Right? This is maybe something to just, I would say, procedural thing which they are doing. Do we see the new defense minister when they take over, they actually go and inspect the army? Yeah. Did you see those videos and things like that? The defense minister actually went inspecting. The inspection becomes a very important part of the leadership qualities. Don't ever miss out on inspection. Go to your godowns, see small things. That is where the observation comes. That's where you get your feedbacks. Then you'll be able to join the dots about the actual information coming to you and the informal information. I mean, you guys are all there, continuously learning, stay upgraded. IT guys. Anyone from IT industry? Any old person? Someone who is a senior in our IT industry? IT industry faces this typical problem. When a person reaches 35-40, he's already experienced for that many number of years. There's a bit fat salary package and becomes a burden on the company. And the company strategically tries to remove this. Why? A lot of people who are in their 35-40s are facing this issue.
Because of the loss in
New technology, new software.
Cost. Same cost at what that old employee is sitting since this many number of years at the salary package cost, which I'd say, I can hire 10 freshers from college, right, who are updated in the latest technology and are more enthusiastic. Right? So that old IT employee is facing a challenge. It's a big issue with the IT industry. If someone has friends around, you can even interact and find more things in detail. Big issue these days. People who are in the 35, 40s, in IT industries, don't know. 30 years learn. If you're not upgrading yourself again and again and again and again and again, it's not going to happen. My dad got a pager for 35,000 rupees. It lasted for like 3 weeks. Then came mobile phone. We all used to love the company known as Nokia. Upgradation. They're just going to go. You will not even know. What do you have to hear? Stays.
Sir, so I didn't understand what is the from practical application results in self-possession.
Yep.
So what is meant by self-possession?
Possess a knowledge. When you learn something, that's why we had this 13 weeks course, 12 weeks course. Okay. You learn something, you put it into practical application, then you possess the knowledge. If you're going to sit and learn in the class, listen in the class, act okay. And then next day you're going to be the same, right? That thing is going to vanish. It will vanish. And memory and learning is like gas, it will go. So that self-possession comes from application. That is why we say that every time you go, you think over it, or you reflect over it. That's when you digest the knowledge. This is everything in one sutra which comes into 6. I'm just going to read quickly for you. Born in a high family, endowed with good fortune, intelligence and spirit, given to seeing elders, pious, truthful in speech, not breaking his promise, grateful, liberal, of great energy, not dilatory, with weak neighboring princes, resolute, not having a mean council of ministers, desirous of training. These are the quality of one easily approachable. It's a big sutra, there are a lot of things in it. It may sound like an English written essay or prose somewhere, but every point by itself has deep meaning to it. Few points which I read twice. With weak neighboring princes. If you are a strong king, if you are a strong leader, how do you call yourself strong? What is the parameter?
Other people are bigger.
Strongest among your neighbors. Are you a good businessman? You need not tell this. Let your competitors know. Weak neighboring princes. Can your competition feel that you are strong? And they are. That's when you become a good business person.
What is not dilatory?
Not dilatory means he doesn't, again, dilate. He doesn't keep changing his rules. But Yashwant Singh, when he was a finance minister, he was also known as a rollback minister. Yashwant Singh. Yeah, Yashwant Singh. Why? Because you should take a decision, you should roll back. You should take a decision, you should roll back. A leader says once, decision is taken. So that decision is taken after like numerous thoughts, after thinking everything inside out. But if you're not thought everything inside out, and if you're going to keep rolling back, you're going to in business, once the deal is done, it's done. You cannot go back from that. So that is where the quality of king comes in. Does not having a mean council of ministers. Council of ministers, Amatyas. Amatyas does not be mean. They should not be mean in the of their own self-interest. Interest of the company comes first. Reliance employs people and employs them at 3 times, 4 times the salary of they used to get in their previous organization. Why? your issues, your financial challenges are taken care of. But I'm going to pay you so many times as compared to what you will pay. Because the lifestyle which the person was maintaining at a particular salary, they will just jump to a different lifestyle altogether. The amount of money which is going to flow into this bank account will be way more than what it used to be. Now, you only focus on the company. You need not worry about your own self and your own life. So that is why the ministers do not mean in terms of their self-owned interest. That's how they try. Different methods. Few companies motivate people, they got to be motivated, to drive them, to bring those qualities and then they think company first. Different ways of it. When does a leader need to? Yeah.
What is this born in a high family?
Yeah. Cooler. Mahakuli. So obviously we follow the system of people of the family in which the person is born is very important. So Kula, Mahakula, the kind of family the person is born in. Now why the family becomes important is, I don't know if how many people here takes interviews, but when you take an interview you try and ask the person, who all are there in your family? What do you do? What do your parents do? Right? The reason why we do this is the brought up of a person, the environment in which a person is brought up, right, becomes very important because that is what is going to create their perceptions.
No, being born, not brought up.
Yeah.
Here it is being
When you're born in a family.
high family. Because
Yeah.
most of the, many of the kings are actually not born in a high family. They are, it's
This is referring to the Varna system.
Referring to the?
Varna system, the class system.
Yeah. So, but accordingly, like Chandragupta Maurya was not born in a high caste.
He was not born.
He was not born. But if they've written this, does it mean something else?
No, it doesn't mean. Chandragupta Maurya was an exception.
But there have been many
So
exceptions.
I'm not saying that a king should have all these qualities. That is, I don't think Chanakya meant that the king should have all this. These are the qualities which are desired. But Chandragupta's Maurya son became the king. This son became the king. We had Bindusara, we had Ashoka. Brought up. The reason when we got into details, it's all about the brought up of a person. A person who is born in an environment where a doctor's kids easy to become doctors. Why? Because way of thinking is different. Lawyers' kids become lawyers. Why? Because that is the thing they discuss in the house. Why do Gujarati, Marwadi, Sindhi family create more business oriented people? Right? Why do all the IT people come in from Hyderabad and Bangalore? Because there's a culture they are on. It is a surrounding which is around. You send a Gujarati to Bangalore and let 2 generations go there, it will be IT wala hi banta hai. It is not about things, but it is the background, the surrounding which the person goes. That's why I think the growth of an individual becomes very important. We have had a lot of controversies on this, alright, and I'm not getting into that more details because I don't want to make it sound, because we are not talking of caste system here, we are not talking of something that only a family person should become something like that. But there are reasons to justify it. So if Rahul Gandhi says that वंशवाद चलता है यहाँ इंडिया में ऐसा ही है, that is not the way to explain it. There is a way, there is a reason and logic behind it, which is there, and which probably he is not going to, I would say. So that is the reason why I born from a high family. Another thing about the leader, very important, is succession plan. Right? Who becomes next after me? Right? So if I have made a company which is with my blood and my sweat, who's going to run it further? And succession planning happens when? Succession planning happens the very day the king becomes a king. The day the person becomes the head of a particular thing, the person should start succession planning. Right? It is said that, like Chanakya, that give your children, if they don't like to run the kingdom, give the kingdom to someone who is more efficient. So again, it is not important that the son only should become the his son should be efficient. He becomes one of the most eligible persons because he is brought up in that environment. Right? But it is not important that that person should own it. In fact, amongst the sons also, who is most eligible becomes, all are eligible, but who is most efficient is selected as such. There's a small video on succession planning which I want to show. Succession planning. What happened? How do we relate this to succession?
Training. Energy comes in, we get it ready.
Send them out there to
Provide for others.
Send them out there. So the mother could have fed the small kid in there. Every time the kid kept asking, what mother just send out?
Be exposed to
Suppose go again, he comes back, goes to bed, probably has fever or something like that. He was sitting and gone.
learn yourself also. Learn yourself also depends upon.
Was the mother not observing what this small boy is doing? Was doing what the mother was not observing. Mother was observing everything, come out, it did not come out. Very soft video of explaining how slowly, steadily someone is trained. On the day they are born, they are trained. Succession planning happens the day someone becomes a king or the next succession needs to be trained. I show another video for succession planning. That's when someone is prepared, ready for the war. And that's when the successor is ready. The king is.
How can that shown by this incredible little man?
Let the leader have the confidence that he's going to come back. He could have gone, the others could have gone ahead and the other one. Training was ready. Succession planning happens like this. Now the leader knows it's time for him to step back. It's very, very, very important. A lot of organizations are leader driven and not system driven or process driven. The leader is gone, the organization disappears. And leader is gone, the organization gets another leader and they have to throw out that leader and bring another leader. We see that happening in our country these days quite often because we saw at least 2 to 3 companies, super large cap companies which face this issue. Succession plan. That's one quality. The major things about leader qualities are given. And what finally happens is the leader becomes ready for the rod. The word very specifically used in Kauntilya Shastra is the rod. Now, have you seen a police officer or a police inspector getting police in mind because children says so? Even the commissioner of police has a rod. Have you seen kings sitting in the rod? Even in the assembly, there is something as a speaker's rod. I don't know if someone knows Arunachal, that should be the MLA ran away picking the rod outside the assembly. What is that problem? What is that problem?
It's a symbol of authority.
Oh. Dandani. Danda. Commissioner is not going to use that rod to hit someone. It will break. But it is a very well decorated. I don't know if you've seen a police commissioner's rod. It has the golden crown on it, the emblem there. The rod has a significance of power, as someone mentioned. The rod is somewhere when the rod falls, is when decision is taken. The king becomes eligible to hold the rod when he has control over himself and what this quality is about. And Indian philosophy, when we do comparative analysis with other philosophies, we talk of someone who is a Raja Rishi, a spiritual king, a sage-like king. If you look at the Confucian theory, the Chinese theory, they talk about someone with an intelligent king. Confucian theory talks about an intelligent king. Indian philosophy talks about a sage-like king. Indian philosophy talks about Raja Rishi. Raja Rishi is someone who is a sage-like king, spiritual king. Whereas Confucian, the Chinese theory, talks about an intelligent king, what a king should be like. Two different ways of looking at things. I feel Indian philosophy goes a little step beyond intelligence, because I feel spirituality goes a little ahead. A sage becomes a little ahead. The king should be like a sage. He is detached. There is nothing for himself. So the question is, मैं आपके शास्त्रों में मेरे लिए क्या मेरी क्या पदवी है? तो वेतन होगी सेवक से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं. The king or the leader is gone up to a level where he is not earning for himself. He is earning for the people. How many of the companies in our country gives out their annual report and says we generated this much more employment? I know companies which gives out their balance sheet in terms of the percentage of GDP contribution they have done. So it is not about the individual anymore. This person is detached with the company. The company is detached with the business, but it is for the people. Sorry, sir. We almost complete. So spiritual thing and religion thing is what we final thing. Once you have the rod, you can be eligible, leader becomes eligible. We have the leader here, so you're going to hear more about leadership from Sir and his experiences. So we almost done about the theory part of leadership, but what we all are excited is to hear about some real action. What we can do is we all take a small break. Quickly, 5 minutes by the time we get ready, and we all come to question. Take it out. 5 minutes.